Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Rolling on with the off-season content here. We got some news and notes. We've got some segments that we need to set up for future podcasts. I know I saw in the subreddit that people want the Mount Rushmores back, so we can do that next week. We need to figure out what teams. It has taken us 7 years to get through 2/3 of the league.
That's diligence, and that's, you know what? We're not rushing into the Rushmores. We're not rushing into the Rushmores.
Our aces. Jayhay, you have a comment?
No, I was still just locked in on the opening finger. I was still feeling it,
bro.
You know.
Yeah, pass that, Jayhay.
Sorry, that must have been very confusing.
You've hit it 3 times. Pass that.
So we still have, I believe, 10 teams is the rumor that we have 10 teams left for the Mount Rushmores, and then we will select the year for Jayhay's Cy Young / MVP breakdown for next week as well. So there's plenty of off-season segments yet to be bestowed upon the grave diggers, the listeners of Baseball is Dead. I mean, I know Dallas, you want to talk about like the award, like fucking Passan already ruined it.
Well, I mean, did Passan ruin it, or did whoever sent the email to Passan ruin it?
No,
and
Passan
then he just
ruined it.
Yeah,
he did. I mean, he already he tweeted the results a week ago, and
also he deleted it.
Yeah, so he just confirmed. Like he could have been like, "Nah,
that
yeah. We already know who wins.
Well,
there's no surprises."
Well, he didn't.
No, we already
email.
know. Yeah, but he fucking tweeted it.
That's fine that there are no surprises, but how many surprises were we anticipating? Really, we can still revel in like the finalists and why a guy was on the finalist list over some other guy or something like that. I think there's some meat on this bone. Like, but we knew Ohtani, we knew Acuna, we knew Cole, we knew.
Let's just read the winners per Jeff Passan.
Yeah, shout out.
Let's see.
We knew all these guys. The drama was going to be who finished second, who finished third. Why was a guy third over a guy who finished fourth? Like, and you know, that's not the meatiest drama that you can get with awards season, but you know, that's what it was. We had 6 definitive winners, I think, for the 6 main awards.
So if we are to believe that the now deleted Jeff Passan tweet is true, that this is the list of the winners, then your AL MVP is Shohei Ohtani, your NL MVP is Ronald Acuna Jr., the American League Cy Young Award winner is Garrett Cole, the NL Cy Young Award winner is Blake Snell. So far, no surprises. AL Rookie of the Year, Gunnar Henderson. NL Rookie of the Year, Corbin Carroll. AL Manager of the Year, Bruce Bochy. NL Manager of the Year, Craig Counsell. There's not a single, which is good. That means they got it right. I think it's unfortunate for people like us who like to debate things.
Well, is there more? I feel like there's more room to argue about what's going on in the managerial awards.
Like what?
Than there is. I mean,
I think like Brandon Hyde.
Thank you. I was just going to say, you tell me Brandon Hyde couldn't have got a conversation?
He's second.
I know. He's second. Well, but I mean,
you think Bruce Bochy doesn't deserve it after the year that he had?
No, listen. And this is why we can talk about the manager stuff, is because of what I'm about to say. Is anybody here upset, angry, disappointed, or willing to take Bochy's Manager of the Year award away from him?
That sounds like you are.
No. That's the whole point, is nobody's willing to do that, because we all understand, I think, and appreciate what the man, where he's been, what he went through, him taking his sabbatical to kind of recharge and reset. He was going through, health stuff, dealing with his hip and his knee. And so once he was back in action and ready to roll, he's like, I got the itch. The game's missing me, I'm missing the game. And he is one of those guys where the game misses him. And we're fortunate to have him back. He steps into a great situation, and it kind of proved that team was just sort of missing that stable leadership role, that one that was really going to sort of get the attention of the room and allow them to operate on a higher level. The reason I brought Brandon Hyde up, and you said it, with the early arrival so to speak, of his team over the last couple of years and the success that they've had storming to the division win, like, why can't he get the attention, or why don't we acknowledge him as well? And that was where, because I think if Bruce Bochy doesn't come back to Texas first year out of retirement and win the whole damn thing, then I got to believe that's Brandon Hyde's award.
It's voted on before the playoffs.
But I mean, yes, it is. But when you're like, you can sort of see how it's starting to pan out, right? And I think the idea of Bochy being in the position he was in and what that future looked like for that team was like, look, there's no way this dude comes back and has this kind of impact, and you're telling us it's not real, it doesn't matter. So no, Bruce Bochy needs to be given his flowers, and that's what happened. The idea that Brandon Hyde could very well be in that conversation is just a point that I was trying to make because of what his team also did and their expectations, or lack of at times, and their early arrival.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to complain either way. I think Brandon Hyde, if he had won the award, we would all sit here and say, yeah, of course. The turnaround that the Baltimore Orioles have had as an organization, and he was a part of it. It's not like, I think when you look at these situations from a wider scope, you could look at the Texas Rangers situation and say, all right, well, yeah, like their turnaround started a few years ago and Bruce Bochy wasn't a part of it. And then he comes in and turns things around. Whereas Brandon Hyde is a guy that kind of saw it through. And I mean, I would say that the Baltimore Orioles had a better regular season than the Rangers did. And they also came from farther back to get to prominence than the Rangers did.
Yep. And don't forget, I don't want to nitpick, but the Rangers kind of choked it at the end. They then won the division. And they had like a 91% chance to win the division with a week to play, and they choked it.
Yeah, they did.
And that falls on the manager.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
Joe.
I wouldn't say it falls all on the manager, but if you want to like take notes of who deserves it, obviously I think Bochy deserves it because of the World Series, but that wasn't taken into account. I would have given it to Hyde. But I love Boch.
You love Boch.
I can't say enough about Boch.
I also just think that, like, if you were to ask Orioles fans, does Brandon Hyde deserve the Manager of the Year award? They would probably tell you, like, we succeeded in spite of Brandon Hyde. I don't know that, like, Orioles fans are super high on Hyde as a manager.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I think.
Can we ask
issues?
RDT? I'm going to ask
There have
RDT.
been issues in the past.
It's just hard to know which manager is good when you just aren't
I'm going to ask RDT.
on the team.
Outside of Karen.
Yeah, Garen.
The Bob guarantee. Let's see. Don't miss your moment. I only know one Orioles fan. Like, I don't know. This is a huge miss. Wow.
Q score is dropping
just-
by the ring.
Yeah, he just texted me. He said, let me call you in 3 minutes. I don't have 3 minutes. I don't know that we'll still be talking about Brandon Hyde 3 minutes from now.
I fucking hope not.
Nope. That's tough.
Yeah.
Tough scene. That bird has flew the coop. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, fans.
That's not what they sound like.
Yeah.
Manager of the Year is great, though. It's like the only award where it provides you with absolutely no additional job security.
Yeah.
It's like, the Manager of the Year from last year has been canned. It's like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And did Mike Shit get fired the year he won it?
Yeah.
Who?
He was already out of a
Mike
job when he accepted the award.
Mike shit.
Yeah.
you know what I meant.
Mhm.
That guy, for sure.
It happens.
Schult. It's a tough name.
Are we going to wait for him? Because I got some questions on some of the. I got a rapid fire thing here on the awards finalists. If any of this stuff is interesting to you guys.
Yeah, please.
Let it rip.
Please.
All right. So AL MVP. I mean, obviously, I think we knew the first two. Semien, like, just kind of quietly, this will be his third top 3 MVP finish of his career. Like, I just don't know that. I think everybody views him as like a really good player, and maybe the World Series victory changes things. But this is a guy who has finished in the MVP conversation on 3 different occasions, and deservedly so. He was the best candidate for the 3rd spot, I think. NL MVP, I mean, I think the notable thing here is Freeman over Olsen, right? Like that was a conversation that seemed to have some legs at different points this year, and it looks like Freeman got that. Freeman's last 6 seasons will be 4th, 8th, 1st, 9th, 4th, and 3rd in the MVP voting in terms of his burgeoning Hall of Fame. Yeah.
And Jayhay, how compelling is that too when you think about how often do we get those 2 types of players, those 2 caliber players, and they find themselves in different spots, and one of those players goes to the place that the other had vacated.
Yeah, it's very unique.
You're almost forced to keep track of both of these guys just out of the interest of what if, right? The hypothetical, what could have been if. That's kind of how it plays out at the beginning. What would the Braves have been if they would have gotten Freddie Freeman's performance, blah, 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 blah. And then you see it play itself out to the point where Ole is, what, how many homers that guy hit? Fucking 50-something?
I thought it was
54?
Yeah,
something like that. And then Freddie, like squarely
54.
in the MVP conversation. I mean, it's just not every day that you see 2 players of that caliber find themselves in different places, one of them replacing the other, and you're able to have a viable MVP conversation, including both of those individuals. So it's just I think it's really, really cool and really unique that we got to see that play out. And it wasn't just an afterthought, 2 months into the season, like, oh yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. Oh, they clearly won this one. I mean, I think you can say both teams have obviously benefited from the arrival of both of these individuals.
AL Cy Young, I mean, Cole had 5 top 5 finishes before breaking through with this win. I know he's not necessarily the most fun guy to root for, but I do think it's fitting given the arc of his career that he's going to have at least one Cy Young win. It would have felt a little weird if he didn't.
Gausman, I mean, for Pete's sake, it's
Gausman has 3 straight seasons with Cy Young votes after 0 through his first 8 seasons of his career.
Gausman.
Sonny Gray looks like he's going to finish 3rd. I think that was. It's just very interesting to note how his career has gone post Bronx.
Sonny?
Right? Sonny Gray.
Well, I said it the minute he left. The minute he was gone out of Oakland, I said, Sonny Gray is a dude who is just motivated by different things, and there's just certain guys who don't do well and don't want any part of that sort of noise and that sort of energy that an environment like that can bring. And it has nothing to do with being incapable of handling it. Has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what makes an individual comfortable. And you might say, well, if he can't handle it, he's uncomfortable. And that's why he's comfortable elsewhere, is because it's the expectations. No, that's not the case. Different things motivate different guys. And Sonny Gray,
he came from such a small school like Vanderbilt.
Well, that's the thing, is think about where he's come from. Like, the dude understands what expectations are. He knows what they mean. He gets that. So where he's going to land in terms of where it's comfortable for him, that's the most important thing. And I think, to Jayhay's point, when you look at that and how it's played out, I think that's that's what it tells you.
He's made 124 regular season starts across 5 seasons since that New York experience, and he has a 3.22 ERA. This is the second time he's finished in the top 3. The most interesting, I think, award ballot ended up being the NL Cy Young and what shook out there. I don't think anybody's surprised Snell is going to be the winner, but there was some real depth to that ballot too. Like Zach Wheeler, not in the top 3. Justin Steele, I think, could have been in the top 3, depending on how you looked at it. But it ended up being Gallen and Webb, who were both on the ballot last year. Blake Snell continues to be amazing, by the way. 2nd Cy Young award. He's got 0 Cy Young votes in all other seasons of his career combined. Nice. So he either wins the Cy Young or he's not even in the conversation, is how it's gone. And then I think, Jared, how passionately do you feel about Tristan being on one of the finalists there? Because it feels like that could have gone to a lot of different people. I
mean, he deserved it.
I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but it feels like we talked about what do we call him? Young Buck or something? Young Money.
Young Money.
Young Money. It feels like
Money.
we talked a lot about Young Money there for a long stretch of the season. Geloff was really good in a smaller sample.
Young got hurt.
Well, Gunner's going to win. Gunner's going to win it.
Gunner's going to win, and then Young got hurt, but Casas was basically there all year, just being one of the best offensive players at his position or in the game. Tristan Casas was, it's escaping me now because it's been over a month since the season ended, but he was like top 10 in OPS plus or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a shitty pick. I'm just,
he deserves
to me the
finalist.
first two were super obvious, and then 856 OPS. That's no joke. And to your point, he provided greater quantity than somebody like Geloff too. And in the NL side, I just want to shout out Nolan Jones, who did not finish in the top 3, but I think you could have made a really compelling case for him over Outman. Nolan Jones went 20-20 and slashed 297, 387.
That was his rookie season?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Remember we interviewed him in spring training like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Now that was his first rookie. Wow.
He got 94 plate appearances in 22 with Cleveland, but was still rookie eligible this season.
Yeah, so I think we must have interviewed him in spring training 2020 when
we interviewed him
Cleveland?
with McQuincy.
Yeah. Good dude.
Yeah, good dude.
Sox fan.
Dude.
Yeah. Loves the Sox.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was overly surprised. You couldn't be shocked by what the award season brought. I think everything was neatly packaged and presented as a lot of us expected.
I think Blake Snell probably now joins a club of pitchers with multiple Cy Young awards who won't sniff the Hall of Fame. Corey Kluber.
That's an interesting list.
Tim Lincecum. Like those dudes, like they're not Hall of Famers, but they've got multiple Cy Young awards, which is interesting.
I mean, Johan's in that and technically didn't sniff the Hall of Fame either.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a there's going to be a push to try to really consider Tim Lincecum and what he's done. Like, I don't know that there's room for that to happen.
I mean, it's multiple All-Stars, multiple Cy Youngs, multiple World Series, multiple no-hitters. Like, how many dudes have done that?
Right. And it's all, and that's why, like, it's, it just forms, it just creates another vein or another artery of this Hall of Fame conversation to entertain.
These are my favorite. I love off-season podcasts because we can do a Tim Lincecum tangent. I think we need to hold on a second. Tim Lincecum is more fit for like the freaks side of the Hall of Fame, like the exhibit side, than he is a real candidate to be considered, because Tim Lincecum was legitimately a good pitcher, not a great one, just a good one for 4 seasons.
Well, and he was great for 4 seasons.
No, he was great, but I'm saying there were no other good seasons after that even. Like, it was those
unhittable
4 seasons,
and then damn.
And that's it. Like, from 2012 through the end of his career, he had a 4.94 ERA and 654 innings.
I was going to say, Jay, he was a guy who, when you start to correlate velocity and you start to take a look at the dip and then you start to take a look at the damage that ensued, that was a guy who, because the changeup was what it was for him, and it was what it was because of what the velocity on the fastball was. When that window started to close, he was unable to make the adjustment that we had seen Felix do. And Felix
even Felix struggled with it to an extent, man. Like, the way
much
Jayhay, less than Tim, but yeah.
Yes, and the way that he was able to execute and perform within that minimized window of separation of velocity was what really got a lot of people's attention. That's what got Zach Greinke throwing his 89 mile an hour changeup off of his 87 mile an hour fastball. Is just shit like that. You're watching Felix do it. But that was where you could really start to see, I guess, the deterioration of stuff for Timmy, was when the fastball went, everything else kind of went, and it kind of went quickly. Not
that I'd ever wish a short career on anyone, but it's it's people like this within the game that like make the sport super special and memorable and what it is, because the one thing a 4-year run of greatness does is it doesn't really give people time to take you for granted. And like, it doesn't matter how great you are in the sport of baseball, you will eventually be taken for granted, and people will just kind of like assume your greatness will continue. And if you're only great for 4 years, like, not that anybody wants that necessarily, but like everybody remembers the Tim Lincecum era, right? And the moments from the flashbulb moments from that era and how he was unique and different within the game. But he's just not, he's not anywhere close to Hall of Famer.
No, but he created a lot of memorable moments for baseball fans.
Yes, he did. I mean, there was how many years in a row, that 4-year window, 5-year window, it was 200 plus innings, 250 plus fucking punch outs. It felt like, I'm just trying to, Jayhay, after, I mean, I don't know if you have his numbers pulled up.
No, I do. Right, from 08 to 11, it was at least 212 innings every year. His strikeouts dipped every season, but went from 265 only down to 220. So he always had more strikeouts than innings pitched, which now it's like, oh, big deal. In 08 through 11, that kind of was a big deal. Like, no, but like his strike, that's what gets lost sometimes when we have these conversations with the strikeout rates rocketing the way that they are, is like, you go back and you look at Tim Lincecum's page, for example, and it's like, oh, dude, okay. Dude struck out 265 and 227 innings. Like, big deal. You know, like 10.5 strikeouts per 9. Like, that's like, okay. But like, that led the league. That was number one in baseball at that point. And
yeah, well, the
context is important.
Massively important. The 200 inning mark will always be the gold standard, straight up, period. That's just not going to change. And when you start to think about the domination to the tune of, what'd you say, 265 punch outs?
265, 261, innings? 231, 220. Like, he led the league in K per 9 3 straight seasons.
I mean, come on. And I would venture to guess, Jayhay, yeah, you just said it. K per 9, he led in 3 straight seasons as well.
Yeah, 8, 9, and 10. He led it. It looks like he led baseball in all 3, not just the NL. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. 4 Cy Young awards.
He also just fell off the face of the earth. Like, once he walked away from baseball, he walked away from society. Like, do you know what that dude's voice sounds like? Do you know what his voice sounds? Have you ever heard him speak before?
Who, me?
It's like a little stonery, right?
Yeah, like when you got to remember, that's when, so like 2010, that's where I hung out with a lot of guys on the Giants, and I hung out with a lot of guys in the Giants organization just because of, us playing each other like 07, 08. If you were up and down from the rookie or from the AAA to the big leagues, you spent a lot of time playing against each other. And just because of my friendship with Brian Wilson, I was hanging out with a lot of those dudes. And so Timmy, but he's always been just like a, beat to his own drum type of dude, quiet dude, around his friend group, outgoing, but just not a guy who was gonna be interested in like the public eye, the limelight like that to that extent. Like, he was more than okay with just doing his thing and enjoying it in his insulated bubble. And then anything outside of that, whatever. Like, yeah, fuck, I'll do the Taco Bell commercial or whatever you got for me. But
I think I've told this story before, probably on the old podcast, but I remember being at the 2012 All-Star game, the one in Arizona, and Lincecum was there, and I think I was checking out of the hotel, or I was in the hotel lobby, and he was just wandering around the hotel lobby completely barefoot. I was like, that is so fucking on brand. Like, this guy's probably like, where am I? Like, what day is it? Where are my shoes?
Is that 12 or 11?
It was whatever one was in Arizona. So maybe it was 11. Yeah. So,
oh my God,
whichever one was in Phoenix. Maybe 11 makes more sense with his
2011 All-Star game was at Chase Field in Phoenix.
And something else about him, like the idea of the freak. You talk about putting him in his own exhibit, or in an exhibit where you have these kind of bursts of careers. But Lincecum was Lincecum was all the rage long before he got to the big leagues. And that's because of what he was doing in college and the mechanics that he was deploying. There was a lot of talk about whether or not that was going to be sustainable, and a lot of that conversation kicked back up when things started to deteriorate. But you're talking about a dude who is, 5'9", 150 pounds.
I remember hearing about him during the fucking Cape League.
That's when I remember.
I was a sophomore in high school, and they were talking about this fucking kid, Tim Lincecum, playing for the Harwich Mariners. And I was like, oh, let me check this out. I mean, this is like MySpace era. Like, there's no
Jared, this dude was,
check him out on Instagram or some shit.
This dude was, put it like this, when UW came to Stockton to play University of Pacific, there were almost more scouts at the game than there were parents, friends, family of like both baseball teams. Because it was just fucking dotted up, high velo, just undressing people. And he was doing it.
Okay, here it is. Yeah.
With mechanics that nobody had ever seen.
19 appearances. He led the Cape League with a 0.69 ERA and was fourth in the league in strikeouts with 68, sixth in the league in relief pitcher point standings. What the fuck is that? His accolades for the season were plentiful as he racked up a Cape League All-Star game nod, end of the season All-Star nod, and currently sits at number 10 in the all-time individual pitching record books with his 0.69 ERA. Yeah.
I completed my research.
Yeah.
The players with multiple Cy Young awards who are not in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Including Blake Snell, shortly. Denny McLain.
Last 30-game winner.
Yep. Brett Saberhagen. Johan. Corey Kluber. Jacob deGrom.
So deGrom's getting there, and that's the end of the list.
You think deGrom's getting in the Hall of Fame?
I do.
Interesting.
It's not over yet. Like, I still think that he'll compile enough to be able to get in.
Do we think Garrett Cole is going to get it unanimously?
Fuck no.
You don't think he's going to?
I thought you meant the Hall.
No, sorry. That was
Cy Young?
Yeah, the Cy Young.
Yes. Yeah,
I do.
Damn near. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
There'll probably be some voter that just can't stand his Kermit sounding ass and be like, I'm not voting for him. But
that's reasonably rare. I mean, Bieber was the last one to win the AL unanimously.
I remember that.
Pod. Yep, front of the pod.
Yep. In the
We were
room.
there.
Yeah. I remember he said that. Like, he got the call, and that was the first word that he said.
Was thank you guys, right? Wasn't it?
No, it was unanimous.
Yeah.
And
I remember like just sitting there like, yeah. As it fucking should have been.
Right.
As it should have been.
Yeah. It was never about if he was going to win that year. It was, is it going to be unanimous? Because it should have.
Can we drink this Ace of Spades now?
Yeah. We can drink this Blue Moon, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Because baseball may be finished, but there's a new season to be happy about. And that's the holidays.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And the beer that was perfect for baseball is also the perfect match for a brighter holiday. From its bold, refreshing flavor to its beautiful, bright color, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's made brighter for the holidays. I have many cases of Blue Moon throughout my home, but I still feel like it's not going to be enough because, as I've said before, my family won't let me host any real holidays. No offense to Canada, but I am going to host Boxing Day. It's not a real holiday in America, but since I can't get a real holiday, an American holiday, to spread the Blue Moon love, I'm going to just have Boxing Day. So I need to be stocked up with Blue Moon for that. Blue Moon Brewing Company beers are made brighter as the perfect complement to the holiday season. From Blue Moon Belgian White's refreshing flavor to Light Sky's real tangerine peel taste to Moon Haze's juicy burst of flavor, the whole crowd will be reaching for the bright stuff this holiday. With its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a beer that is made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. This holiday season should be merry and bright. So Blue Moon is a perfect match for the holidays. The crack of a beer, the pour, the first sip of that bold flavor, Blue Moon always feels like a special occasion. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful bright color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all through the holidays. Brighten up the holidays with the beer that is made brighter. Get Blue Moon Belgian White, Belgian Style Wheat Ale, Light Sky, and Moon Haze, all delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket for delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale. That's gonna be quite the advantage for hosting the holidays. It's just an endless supply of Blue Moon throughout the home. That's how you make it a Blue Moon holiday.
It's how you get people in the house.
Yeah, it is.
Marion Bright, is that right-hander? Right-hander out of Jesuit? Marion Bright?
The fuck are you talking about?
Thanks, Joe.
I think you're thinking of different school. Holy Cross, I think.
We've got some managerial changes.
IMG.
Got some managerial changes that have happened. The Craig Council drama went down on the last episode, but there have since been other managerial changes that have taken place since our last recording. One of them being the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim have replaced Phil Nevin with our guy, Atlanta legend, Texas legend, baseball legend, Ron Washington.
Your call has
Why
been
the fuck is no one answering our fucking phone calls today?
Fucking sweet.
Yo, pour one out for the Phil Nevin era. That was
he's
good.
calling right now.
It's a really good era.
Why the fuck didn't you answer your phone?
Here.
I warned you that I was calling. You made it go all the way to voicemail.
I'm here.
What excuse do you have for that?
I'm cooking right now. I'm in the lab cooking up Angels to make the playoffs next year, minus 190.
Minus 190?
I mean, plus 190. My bad.
I was gonna say, Jesus Christ.
Is that is that your home casino putting up that line?
Yeah.
Yeah, they also give you Rendon MVP really good odds.
Bro, what are the Rendon MVP odds?
Well, they had to go down with Ron Washington, his boy.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, they had to go down. They couldn't go any higher.
Right. That's fair. Max.
Think about it. If all the listeners put $5, we could bankrupt Vegas.
That's true. The Angels have hired Ron Washington as their new manager. Let me ask you this: when they fired Phil Nevin, was that something that you agreed with at the time, or were you like, it's not Phil's fault that we suck?
I mean, it's really not his fault at all. I don't know how people were getting upset that like people wanted him gone. It's like, what more could he do besides like strap him up and play himself? Like, what else could he have done? Like, he got hit with like the worst luck of all time. And I wanted to ask like Dallas, like, because I know Ron was like, well, I don't even know what I'm calling him yet. Grandpa Ron, Uncle Ron, I don't know, Ron Washington, coach, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask like what, give me some good stories about him, bump me up, hype me up a little bit. Yeah, it's not Nevin's fault, and he's gonna get another job. But I'm on the Ron train right now.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys saw. I had a political tweet pop off. It was insane.
A political tweet?
Well, not really a political tweet, but like I'm saying, Angels fans haven't been this excited about a Washington takeover since January 6th.
Oh!
You guys didn't like that one?
Oh, Max.
No. Dallas, tell me some stories about Ron, please.
Well, it's wash. It's wash. All right. You just leave it there. You don't have to wait for anything else. And I agree with you, Max, about the whole Nevin situation. I don't know that there could have been much more he could have done. I think there's a lot of turbulence outside of what they're just trying to get done in the clubhouse that probably factored into the decision making there. But what you're getting in a guy like Wash is somebody who has a great depth of knowledge on how to get everybody's passion and get everybody's energy channeled in the right direction. And I think in a day and age where you are trying to bring a room together, understanding that that's one of the most difficult things you can do with all of the outside sources and information that have their hands in it, Wash is a guy who can kind of just simplify that stuff and get everybody, like I said, pointed in the right direction. So like as far as stories, you got to remember, Wash was already gone by the time I got to the big leagues there. So he was doing other things in other places. So my direct experience with Wash wasn't as a player. It was now as an opponent and then as a media member.
He was your op?
Yeah.
He was your opponent?
Early, yeah. He was in the Texas dugout. He was in the Texas dugout. So I was doing work against him.
While you were saying that, I was actually thinking, like, because I agree. I don't think, again, Phil Nevin, like, it wasn't his fault. Played on the A's this year and, like, hidden, like, amongst the MLB, right?
What's that?
Like, Phil Nevin could have played on the A's this year and, like, nobody would have noticed.
Well, I mean, why? I don't know why you feel the need to take that kind of a shot. I mean, Phil Nevin well could have played on the Angels team that he was managing and probably could have helped, like you said. I don't know why we got to take a shot across the bow there.
No, I'll be honest. I think the land probably did play. We just didn't notice.
Yeah. What is your expectation now that you have? What is your expectation now that you have Wash in the house? Now that it is the house of Wash, the school of Wash, what is the expectation?
Yeah, it just feels like now it's like you can't. In the clubhouse, and now there's an adult. So no more parties, no more nothing. It feels like it's just straight business now.
Oh yeah, Rob Washington didn't like the party for sure. That's never.
More reports about like F2 rent, yada yada yada. Like that's out the window now with him. So I don't know.
It's a good point, bro.
Max, I tell you, I don't know that I could have said that any better myself. When it comes to articulating fine points and thoughts, you, my friend, have just put on a master class. As far as Wash, party and joy, I know what you're snickering at. You know what? Turn the page. All right. It's a guy who's not afraid to be human. All right.
I never said it was a bad thing. You know, I love Wash more than anyone. And I said it. I said we don't want him to leave, but we're just happy he's happy.
Max, here's the question: is
you can't hear him. You can't ask Max questions. Jared fucking called Max, put him on speakerphone, then fucking left, and the speaker's like fucking 20 yards away from the mic.
Yeah,
and we can't fix the mic because Jared's not here.
Oh no, Jared's coming back. Let's all just start laughing. Hold on.
I can hear you. I know this is fake laughter.
Oh, that's.
Hey, Max.
Yo, did I get cut off?
Yeah, bro. I don't know what happened. You're good.
Jeez. All right, radio sound. Anyway, yeah, I feel like there's an adult in the clubhouse. You guys feel the same?
Yeah, I want to know, do you feel like the antics or the stuff that was going on with Rendon gets cleared up? You know, I mean, a lot of things we found out at the very end of the season, like, oh, okay, guys had a broken leg. We just weren't going to tell anybody that. Like, what does that get cleaned up?
Yeah, do you think, like, in an MLB, as an MLB player, like, is it, like, it's probably easier to be rude or be an asshole to Phil Nevin than it is, like, an older guy, just age-wise, like, right? Like,
no, I would, you could probably, you probably, Pedro Martinez, who manhandled Don Zimmer on the playing field, probably a better guy to ask about how you treat elderly individuals in the game of baseball. So the answer there is no, don't matter. Age is just a number. You can get that action too.
Also, It doesn't really matter whether they're like mean to the manager if your players suck.
Yeah, that's true.
You relax.
Yeah, but,
they're going to get Tim Anderson, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another one where it's like, why are we looking into a guy who, one, can't hit, and two, can't fight?
Can't fight?
Yeah, he can't fight. Well, I mean, what is he going to do?
Well, I thought you said can't play. Yeah, well, I mean, Max, that's the thing isn't that kind of par for the course? You've identified what you need, and you just go the opposite direction. You're like, nope, that's good. We need pitching. Rendon, please.
Well, I mean, like, at least you got to be able to fight because Rendon, yeah, he's not healthy, but he was fighting when we fought the Mariners.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
He was the first one out there.
Swinging the cast.
You got
he fought that old fucking guy, the A's. He fought the A's fan.
Did you, oh, true, he did. Did you guys already decide where Shohei was going? Like, did you already, not decide, but like guess or whatever?
Yeah, Angels, man.
Yeah, he's coming home.
We all agree.
I'm coming home.
Wouldn't that just be like, as a baseball collective for the baseball world, like that's what everybody doesn't want, except me, right?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is Angels fans, there is still a percentage of Angel fans who actually think that there's a chance he's coming back. Like there's a 0% chance.
Yeah, bro, me.
Yep. No, I'm telling you, like anytime that I've tweeted about Shohei and a potential destination, you get angry, spiteful Angel fans coming in there being overprotective, thinking like they actually think that he's going to come back.
Well, yeah, bro. Who wants to like, hey, like, everybody's like, you're dating a girl, and everyone's like, I got next. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah, but like, you know that there's like no chance.
Bro, I don't know that because he can't. Why hasn't he picked a place then?
There hasn't even been a speck of speculation that that's a possibility. Nothing. Not even a crumb.
Because all the GMs got sick at the Hilton or whatever. That's delaying it. What's delaying it? Just sign already then.
I mean, he's obviously going to shop himself around. It's a matter of where he wants to go. I just can't imagine that he's going to want to. I'm not.
Yeah, he's a Cub.
Well, did you see the recent report that came out while we've been on the phone?
No, I didn't see it right now.
Yeah. Morosi says Shohei Ohtani is reportedly, quote, intrigued by the possibility of playing for the Braves.
He wants to be a Braves. I mean, can you blame him? Who doesn't want to be a Brave?
Morosi notes Ohtani's priority is playing for a contender in 2024 and beyond, and few, if any, teams are set up to contend long-term like the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, we're too good. We don't need it. The Braves are too good for Shohei.
TORM, long-term.
Long-term.
Yeah, dude. No, I wouldn't hate that. Fuck it. Just turn baseball into basketball. Like, fuck, just go be Kevin Durant. Like, fine, I don't care. Like, just do it. Just ruin the whole game. Fuck it. Ruin it for everybody.
Isn't there something to the idea, though, that we're getting these leaks? Like, with a guy like Ohtani, like the premium free agent, the most premium of the last X number of years, whatever, it's normally just like, oh, he's going to go to the Cubs, or he's going to go to the Dodgers, or it's going to be the Yankees or Red Sox or something. I think there might be something to the idea that we keep getting these leaks that like, oh, he's interested maybe in the Braves. Or I think last week there was a report about the Rangers being a viable option for him, or on the list of his not finalists, but like teams that he was intrigued by at that time or something like that. And most players, I don't think, are like, oh, I just want to go to the most successful teams, but he may really just want to prioritize winning. He's going to get paid, but like, he may really want to prioritize winning after all this fucking losing. Like the Rangers just went to the World Series. Like, hey, I want to go to that team, or the Braves just won 100 and whatever games. I want to go to that team. Like, let's go.
It's not even about the reason the Dodgers are the easy identifiable landing spot is for that reason, right? They've taken the division for the last decade, and so that's a decade's worth of postseason appearances. He has exactly none of those. And why would he?
I mean, if he wants to play for a division title, I'd say, yeah, that's the place to go.
No, that's just like he wakes up in December knowing that he'll be doing that for the next 10 years. That's what that means. And he has had no taste of that. So if it's a jumping off point Oh, yeah. Guess I'll just be playing for the division again. Wow, this is the 8th year in a row. This sucks. No, that's a great place to be.
I guess that is like, because in baseball, like, I guess that is, like, once you get in, it really, like, whatever we saw with the D-backs, like, anything could happen. So he just has to pit. Like, how funny would it be if he did go to the Dodgers and they missed the playoffs? Like, that would be hilarious. Would that not be
that
funny?
would piss me off. It would be kind of funny, but then it would be sad because you want to see Shohei in there.
If he goes to another team, I hope that team never makes the playoffs.
He's going to the Dodgers. I don't know why people. I just think it's so obvious
just to be clear
that he's. Well, that sucks. He's gonna be.
It's a heavy favorite. Like in terms of potential destinations, the Dodgers are a heavy favorite.
Well, this is where this conversation gets interesting when you start to try to identify teams that we think outside of the teams that separate themselves simply because of their expenditures, because of their payroll or their willingness to pay. Outside of that, now who are the teams that we feel or that they even feel are set up for 4 years of sustainable success, 4 to 5 years of competitive, sustainable success that plugging a Shohei Ohtani into, and remember, you're plugging in Shohei the hitter year 1 and probably a larger portion of year 2 as opposed to getting what you would like to get from him on the mound. Let's remember that. So with that being said, what do you look like if you're a team that, I don't know, isn't someone that's going to win the bidding war? But if he's prioritizing winning and finds the happy medium between the, let's say it's a $400 million offer instead of the $500 that people are talking about, what do those teams look like? Who are those teams? Because that's why I feel like it's the teams that are willing to spend and or the teams that he's identified as sustainable success teams that kind of, I don't know, kind of make that a small pool.
Yeah.
Isn't this almost like better, like that, like the Trout never going to free agency, like not, you didn't get that, and now you get like almost when, like Jayhay said, the most coveted free agent ever. Like, isn't this one almost worth it? Where like we skipped that one and now we get this one.
It is, but it's also depressing. It's just depressing that he had to fuck his arm up like 2 months before.
This is, I mean, it's still the most intriguing free agency in North American sports history. It would have been significantly more intriguing if he would have finished healthy on both sides of the ball. There's no arguing that whatsoever.
He would have got $700 million.
Caveat.
But and what's
like North American sports?
What's
a Mexican soccer player?
I mean, Messi, like they're fucking restructuring like land territories for Messi. You know what I mean? Like that's not even a conversation.
You're right. That's fair.
Yeah. So that's why this whole thing will always be the most intriguing thing that we're gonna talk about this entire offseason.
Yeah, no, he's gone for sure. Now that everybody knows that, I think he's, and I don't think he's a Dodger. Like, he's not a Dodger, bro. All his gear is red. Why is he gonna go? Like, he's gonna have to buy new batting gloves and new helmets.
No, I feel like New Balance will be able to cover that. New Balance is gonna take good care of him.
Well, don't you remember he used to play on the Nippon Ham Fighters? They were blue.
That's a different kind of blue, though. That's like more like Brew Crew City Connect blue.
Well, maybe he goes to Milwaukee, save some money.
And Max, just think about this. You having Trout to fall back on is the best thing you guys could have. So having Mike Trout there to help kind of console you as you're standing on the curb watching Shohei and his family pack their belongings up, and Shohei just turns out of the back of the window and he's waving to you. You know, you got Mike to put his arm around you and say, "Hey, look, it's okay. We can go to the Phillies. We can go to the Phillies game. We can go to the Eagles game first week of October, man."
That is so crazy that, like you guys said, fans are upset, and Jared tweets it, and he gets fucking hate mail from all the Shohei people, and it's like everyone's complaining, and you could just like reply by being like, "You still have Mike Trout. Like, why are you crying?"
Well, I mean,
But
what are the
yeah,
odds that he's still there by opening day too?
Yeah, I think it's best for
that's
baseball
not
if
off
he
the
moves
table, no
on,
matter
too.
What he said. Yeah. What do you say, Jayhay?
That's not good.
It's
I
best
guess
for
what you
baseball
mean.
if he moves on also.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm going to be severely
you can't just
disappointed
have
if
all our players.
let me put it. Let me. No. Hold on.
Well, you're not
hold on.
using them for anything.
Is Artie Moreno
you
letting
have
him go?
already wasted them for long enough. They are now being are being possessed by the state. Yes.
Yeah.
CPS, bro.
They're getting repoed.
The Child Protective Services, the baseball player version.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not
honestly
cool.
going to be
But you
hugely
guys can
disappointed
vote.
if Mike Trout's with the Angels come spring.
Yeah, you can't go poaching Trout like that, man. Gonna have fishing game up
you
your
guys-
ass.
He ended the year
That's fine. We
basically
let Ohtani
like
go.
he like O.J. Simpsoned it at the end of the year. He was like, if I was to be traded, here's what it would look like.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, we know both guys are. That's a good. Like, I'm glad you said OJ because he clearly didn't do it. So if he was traded, he's not. He's not going to be traded.
Well, I'm not getting political. I'm just saying, it's he wrote a book called like If I Did It,
Mhm.
Isn't that contract impossible to trade?
No.
Like that's what I've heard from
Your sources?
my website, spottrack.com.
Okay.
What, the Trout contract?
Like don't you diminish all your value by like? So like the Angels realistically paid most of it.
Yeah, I
to get
think
what back. Like
Well, that's
think you have
always
the
gonna
right
be-
read on that.
Torres.
Yeah.
You have the right read.
Yeah.
It would be Mike Trout saying, I want to leave, and not the Angels deciding that they're going to get a bounty for Mike Trout and trade him to start the rebuild.
So
Yeah,
we
does
pay
this-
his whole contract.
No,
and
you
get
pay
Gleyber
some of it
Torres back.
because you're right.
Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, it's an awkward fit.
Like
Well, you're right that there's a small subsection of teams that would even be in the conversation to absorb a contract that large. So yes, you're right.
You just bring something up right now though, and how much have we thought about this? How much have we entertained this? Could we very well see like maybe one of the ugliest and disappointing endings to a Hall of Fame career if Mike Trout never leaves Anaheim? And if he never leaves Anaheim, is it because Artie Moreno never lets him go? Because Artie says, I'm not spending that to get rid of you, and I don't care if you take one at bat for the next 9 years. I'm not doing it. I'm not spending all. I'm not going to do. Like, I don't want to think that it ever gets to that point, but I think in reports we've heard that, Artie, as we saw, team's for sale. Nah, the team's not for sale. We're actually going to just do a wholesale shift, and we're going for it. Going to get rid of these prospects, go and try to get some guys into, and just the whole blow up and blah, blah, blah. We don't need to rehash all that. But is there any thought that that's also a way that it could play out where Trout says, man, you got to get me out of here. You got to get me out of here. What can we do? And Artie just says, I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to be able to get what I need back, and I'm not willing to spend what they're asking, Mike. I just can't do it.
I don't think so, because I don't think we would have heard the report at the end of the year that we did. I think that's the key part here, because I think if Artie Moreno was steadfast against the idea of ever accommodating Mike Trout in this way, then I don't think we would have heard it leaked pretty obviously from the team side that they were open
They're
to
willing
trading
to
Mike
trade him.
Trout if he forced the issue essentially. So
yeah, it was the Angels that said it first, right? They're like, hey,
Yeah.
let's trade.
that's how I remember it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That-
it's really
that-
just a matter of time until Mike Trout says, you know what? I'm sick and tired of sitting field side week one at Eagles games. I want to be playing baseball still. So
I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out what comparison it's like to have a team say like, hey, that's like me crashing at Dallas Braden's house and he's like, I'll get you a hotel, and I'm like, no, I'm good, like, I'm chill, like I'm cool here. I'm cool in the guest house. Like, dude, I'll put you up at the Ritz. Like, I'll drive you. And it's like, no, I'm okay. Like, I'm cool.
yeah, rarely do you have that interaction, especially with a player of Mike Trout's caliber, where the team comes out and is like, hey, just I don't know what you guys are doing. I know it's Tuesday, about 10:15 or so. We'd be willing to trade Mike Trout. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, the more we talk, the more like, I mean, that baseball is kind of just like, if he gets traded, then baseball is basketball. Like that. That's just like players are just going to start demanding out.
Yeah, but they don't have
like
to oblige.
17.
I think it's a special case with Mike Trout. It's like the guy's been there for over a decade, just suffering, not getting into the playoffs. Willingly.
This is already been that long. Just stay longer. Like you already been a decade.
Let's not turn the Angels' mismanagement of the Trout era into some systemic problem plaguing sports and creeping from the NBA to MLB. It's really just about the Angels and Mike Trout. Like, if he gets traded, it would be a mercy upon the baseball community and not a reflection of the fact that it's the NBA. It's never going to work like that. Individual players can't shake the landscape the same way they can in the NBA, so trade demands are never going to work the same.
Bingo. That's why you don't get. That's why there will never be an MLB version of James Harden.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, you're right. That's not, there won't be, but especially because I don't think one guy. But I do think Ohtani can, but that's just one person.
Yeah, but Ohtani is never gonna like be the problem.
Yeah, true. Well, we don't know that.
That's true. Imagine if Ohtani was just toxic as fuck.
Him and Ipe just talking shit about everything.
Yeah. Like, how would you know?
All right, so I have a top 5 teams of where I want Ohtani to go.
Okay. What is it?
Okay, you go. Okay, so 5. You want to go 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
5 to 1.
Okay, we know number 1, so I'm not even gonna say it. 5. And this is like I wouldn't hate it. I don't want him to go there, but I wouldn't be mad.
Okay.
5 is the Padres.
Padres?
Right. Yes.
Oh, God.
Fuck it. You need a loan, take another loan. Well, I don't care. Just loan on loan. Just loan yourself to death. Like, that's fine.
Yep.
Right. 4, the Cubs. Just because, I don't know. The thought of him in Chicago is hilarious.
Okay.
3. Ready? Walk in.
Yep.
The Giants.
Okay.
Where everybody wants to see balls going in the water and people on kayaks struggling to go.
That would be cool, knowing like
That
he's a
would be
lefty
so
and
nice.
he can yank homers into the.
I'm going to tell you guys this: if he goes to the Giants, buy kayak stock.
Yeah, that's a
because
good
that
call.
shit is going to be flooded. People are going to come from Japan like with their kayak over and just sit out in the bay, like or cove or whatever you guys call it.
That seems super inconvenient. They could probably just buy them when they get here.
It's a hell of a paddle.
Oh, I mean, or you can travel with them.
Yeah, you could.
Have you ever traveled with a kayak? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We could just have a monopoly on fucking paddles. Like it, we'll make so much money.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, fuck it, chaos. Go to the Yankees.
What?
Fuck it. Let them.
What
let
is
them go.
your
Who cares?
fucking problem?
Who cares? Let them go.
What do you
That's
mean?
fine.
Who cares? Why would you say
Chaos.
why? What
He's
kind of
not-
chaos? Like that? If
You know what?
if you're the type of guy that's like, oh, I want. If he's not going to stay here, I want what's best for him. I want him to get back to the playoffs. You want him to go to the team that's not going to make the playoffs, even if they sign Shohei Ohtani?
And then I want him to fight like a rider, like mid-season. Like
He
I
would
bet
hate it.
he can go to the Yankees. He can go to the Yankees.
No.
He could grow a beard, and they'd be like, "All right, that's cool. You can keep it."
No, I mean, that's probably the last team that he would want to sign with. Like every player that plays for the Yankees comes away from their experience being like, these people fucking suck. Like the
That's my
GM's an idiot. The fans are the worst. Like he's not like, we are not that far removed from when Shohei used to tell crowds to be quiet when he would pitch. Like he didn't want crowds to be loud. And you're going to go play for the Yankees where they boo their own players.
Think of the comedic aspect. Like Cashman has like the worst comments ever of all time. And then they get Shohei, like that'd be so funny.
Nothing about it would be funny. I wouldn't laugh once.
Okay, I would. That's if I can't be happy, no one's gonna be happy.
That's just that. Yeah, no, what that is domestic terrorism by rooting for Shohei Ohtani to sign with the Yankees. No one wants to see that.
I didn't root it. I just said it. It's my top one.
No,
that's number 2 though. Number 1, stay home. You have an apartment, all your gear is red.
Yeah, 5 through 3 sound realistic, and then you just went off the rails like a madman at the end there.
Well, again, I'm gonna need a loan from you guys. I'm gonna start buying some kayaks. He goes and done.
That is, yeah.
That's why.
I think what we should do is if he signs with the Giants, we start our own kayak company.
A kayak tour company.
Kayak
Oh, that'd
rental
be so
company?
sick. With Dallas like driving one big kayak and everybody in the back, like
Yeah, we just go tour. All right, yeah, shout out to my homie over at the Barbary Ghost. That's right. It was a tour that we took out in the bay, went and cruised. It was nice. Went out and paddled. Jumped in full unicorn onesie. It was a good time. So there's
Can
gonna
you-
be what?
Like legally, would they allow you to have like a pontoon boat?
What do you mean? In the bay, I wonder. Yeah, you're allowed motorized vehicles in the bay.
I haven't seen one. It's all just kayaks and canoes and shit.
No, they
You
got
ever see the
you do
spaceship?
jet skis.
yeah.
I don't know if I've seen jet skis either. I don't know. I mean, I this is something
No,
that
there
we're
haven't
really
been
gonna
down
have
there.
to pounce on this. Like, this is a business idea that we need to discuss. Funding.
Yeah, don't publish.
and-
Don't post it. Don't post it.
Yeah,
Don't-
Jake,
don't-
edit all this out. Edit all this out. If Shohei Ohtani signs the Giants, we need to get into the water tourism business.
Bro, can you just imagine if they do like people are going to be running over? Someone's going to drown. For like
Yeah.
a home run ball.
Yeah, so then we need to get into the life jacket industry as well. We're gonna baseball is dead life jackets and Dallas Braden guided tours that go on in McCovey Cove,
Mhm.
and this is it's gonna be super profitable because we're gonna own it. We're gonna have a monopoly.
Ask your jacket guy if he could make your jacket like water resistant.
After who
Or, like,
dies?
make it like your jacket
You
guy.
said-
Didn't they make you a jacket? The Letterman.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
you get a baseball
yeah.
come on.
Well, I can't fucking hear you. Your service is terrible right now.
on the fucking 19th hole right now.
All right, you go back to that. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you the next time the Angels do something stupid.
Well, I mean, you were supposed to tell me when the Dodgers got bounced, like I said they would. I just think it was on. But, it's no big deal. They just haven't done anything in 10 years. That's not,
We were busy.
So who's counting?
Yeah, we were busy.
Yeah, who's counting?
All right,
Thank you, guys.
Okay, love you, Max.
Cool.
Bye.
See you guys.
Max Air
Yeah.
Jordan 1 on Twitter. Go give him a follow. But yeah, I mean, I was gonna bring up that Shohei Ohtani report. We got into it with Max, but yeah, I don't know what are the odds. What are the odds that the fucking Braves end up with Shohei Ohtani?
No, it would be. I mean, the Braves will sign to anyone and give them no money, and they accept it. So, like, that's their only hope. Can you see them signing Shohei for like half the price of anyone else? If anyone was going to do that, it would be the Braves. But that's the only team. The only way the Braves would ever sign him. They're not going to pay him $500 million, or probably not even $400 million. It ain't going to be with the Braves.
No, because AA is going to look at him and go, buddy, we're only getting X amount of innings out of you on the mound before it goes to just straight DH mode. So you understand that, right? And we've got guys that we're going to have to move around. So look, here's what we got to do. Maybe it's an early out, early option, whatever it may be. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It is not out of the realm of possibility, because if you're Shohei Ohtani and you have his kind of talent, then who's to say that you don't get to just look at some of the higher profile teams that are willing to spend? And who said it earlier? Somebody said, just rental. It might have been Max, like rental. Think about the Correa deal, right? Think about the options, the ability to get out of these deals early. JD Martinez had that in Boston. I mean, the opportunity to just continue to test the waters where it's either 1 or 2 year deals at the AAV that he could command, if that were the case, because that could very well be an intriguing approach. If Ohtani wants to win as much as possible, does it make sense to marry yourself to an organization for a decade? Or does it make more sense to leave yourself open to testing the waters after 2 to 3 years at a time? If you can sustain your performance, if Shohei Ohtani is going to be as good as he's been right now for the next 10 years and winning is the priority, what route would you guys take? Would you take, would you take the one lump sum, if you will, with a decade-long contract, or would you sign yourself up to play for the Braves for 2 years and then get back in the mix, and now you're a Dodger for 3 years. Then you get back in the Mets, and who knows, the Mets have their shit together now, and you want to go win one with Uncle Stevie, and now you're a New York Met. Like, is there any intrigue to that?
Yes, that seems kind of fucking likely. Not likely, but no one's really talking about that, but it seems to make the most sense. Like, why would he want to sign? Like, he doesn't seem like a guy who really cares about the money that much. Like, he gave up $200 million fucking dollars to come to America 2 seasons earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He made $70 million last year, if you count endorsements.
Yep.
Highest paid player in the league by far. So why not? If he wants to win, it seems like he wants to win so bad. That's his one motivation. Like, that does seem like the smartest thing to do. Plus, he might end up making more money doing it that way anyway.
Well, because
the guy's bet on himself forever anyway.
And Joe, if it's a matter of him being healthy so that he can cash out again, because he's gonna make money. Let's say it's let's just, I don't know, let's take this for a walk. Let's say it's a 3-year deal in Atlanta. All right, that's really a year and a half worth of him pitching, but 3 years worth of him offensively. So whatever number you settle on is going to factor that in. All right. And now let's say he wins a ring at the end of this whole deal. It's 3 years and he's healthy on the mound again. No constraints. Let it rip. And he's doing what he's done offensively just the same. Now he's back into the free agent pool. Now it's a 2-year deal with the Dodgers or a 3-year deal with the Dodgers. And now he gets to increase that earning power because he's back on the mound and he's healthy. Because remember, this is the hypothetical where everything's coming up Jayhay. So he's back to 170, 180 innings. He's punching out 220 people, and he's giving you, a great opportunity to win the game every time he takes the mound, as well as what he's done offensively, a top 5 player. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it feels like if the money isn't what your concern is and the opportunity to win games and be ever present in the postseason, well, you are the one player, it feels like, that doesn't have to entertain any offers other than the ones that can provide you the best possible chance at getting to October right now. Now. Nobody else is fielding those phone calls. Nobody else is taking the top 6 division winners, blah, 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 and entertaining their future. Jayhay can.
Yeah, if he goes for a long-term deal, there's probably that limits 2-3 teams that you can confidently say can offer him $500 million plus and confidently be in the playoff race for the next 5 to 10 years. That's like the Dodgers, and then maybe, I don't know, because that's like just the Dodgers. Honestly, that's just the one team.
Because why can't,
if he wants to do that short-term shit, he could go to there's probably fucking 10 teams.
Well, why can't
do it?
Why? Who would be the Minnesota Twins to the Carlos Correa? Like, oh shit, the Twins are in.
The Mariners.
Twins are in.
The Mariners.
So the Blue Jays. Could that be? I don't know. Could that be a team?
No.
Why not the Jays?
They've never shown you any indication that they would make that kind of a deal.
But this is that's the thing is, has it been available to them? And are they finding themselves that's where this isn't getting specific on the Blue Jays. Like, I don't know, Jared, are the Blue Jays, are they willing to make our teams that could very well be entertaining this dude in this fashion willing to say, hey, you know what? At 10 years, no chance. At 2 years with an option or a 3-year deal with options every year, shit, maybe we can play with that. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know.
Paston came on here and told you he's not even going to want opt-outs. He's just going to want like the Bryce Harper deal where it's 10 to 13 years and it's just guaranteed, locked in. I'm here and I'm not going nowhere. No trade.
And I have strong opinions about the reasons behind that as well.
Ooh.
Such as?
You just had your second Tommy John. Why wouldn't you want someone to commit to you for over a decade, having no idea what it's going to look like after that?
The opt-out isn't on the team side; it's the player side.
Yeah, but you don't get. I mean, there's some give and take here, pal. Like, okay, I'll give you the opt-out, or I'll get rid of the option for the opt-out if you can exchange money. But if I'm not going to get the opt-out, you see how that works? So that's kind of what, I mean, that's the situation I think he would find himself in is, hey, look, if you're willing to give me this tenure here, that's fine. There's going to be a price tag that comes with that. And if you don't want me to be able to opt out at any point in time and you're looking for my pure commitment, I'm not the Bryce Harper $300 million from Rizzo in the witching hour, no trade clause, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that, like, that's not this offer.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for some real Shohei rumors. Like, as of right now, I don't think we've learned anything that we didn't already know.
The Dodgers right now, if the season starts today, would be 17th in payroll. They have $108 million spent on players right now. What that means, they got like $150 fucking million to spend before the season starts.
Well, that was part of the reason that they didn't extend the QO to JD Martinez, right? Is because they're looking to keep their options open and available.
They gonna give that to Shohei. Ohtani's coming home.
I just wonder how long the process is going to take. Like, if Shohei is sitting there telling you, geographical location, not an issue. I just want to be able to win, and you have to meet my number. It's like, all right, then just get it done, Friedman. What are we waiting for?
Yeah,
he wants to get wine and dine. Didn't he turn down meetings the last time he was a free agent? Like, he was turning down. He has a good idea of what he wants, right?
Well, that's the thing is, if you know that this is what this player is all about, and you know that this is where his head is at, then you're probably, if you're an organization that hasn't had those conversations, it's for a reason. You know that you're not ever going to be entertained to have those conversations. So that's how quickly the pool of teams gets dwindled down. That's how quickly it gets whittled away. And that's why we just say he knows what teams have a certain level of sustainable success that is attractive enough to him to entertain those meetings. If the 3 to 5 year plan that they're trying to put in front of you doesn't capture your attention, then he's out. He's not listening. He's not even like, sorry, man, you guys are 3, 4, 5 years away from being competitive at the big league level. I'm not going through that. I want to know that we are going to be in October 3, 4, 5 years in a row. That's what I need.
Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of fucking time to continue to talk about Shohei Ohtani, where he's going to end up signing. It's just going to be the Dodgers. I just feel like there's just not a lot of suspense in any of this shit. Anyways, you shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to the next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Holiday season is coming up, and I understand you're a baseball fan if you're listening to this podcast, and maybe there's another sport, there's a concert or something that you want to get tickets for the holiday season gifted up, or maybe it's just for you. That's fine. Spoil yourself. You deserve it. See the view from your seat before you buy and know exactly what to expect when you arrive. All-in prices show your total upfront so you know what you're getting. It's a great deal before you check out. Buy tickets in seconds with just 2 taps. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event. And even an hour after it starts, it's the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for big-time savings. And Game Time guarantee, that means that you will get the best price if you find tickets in the same section and row for less. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code Jared, Jared, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with the promo code Jared, Jared, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Okay. Any thoughts on Dusty Baker, the heir to the Dusty Baker throne? They just decided to hire from within. Is that surprising? Did you think that they were going to shop around a little bit more for other candidates?
I did not. I felt like I mean, I felt like that was a target.
You felt like this was just the direction that you
I
thought
just felt
Astros were going to go in.
You got somebody that's been around, right? You got somebody that has an idea of how things go there, that has been through it. And I think that for their situation just made the most sense.
I don't really feel, I don't know that I had someone in mind. Like, I thought maybe Wash would have been a good fit there. I don't like, with the whole Wash going to Anaheim thing. Like, I think, the Angels are the butt end of the joke. And I never want Wash to be the butt end of any joke within baseball. Like, I almost wish that he went to Houston or San Diego. Like, I could see Wash having a great time being the Padres manager, changing up the vibes over there. So I don't know how I feel about him managing that, especially if Mike Trout leaves. Then it's just gonna be like, it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be like, all right, we got this new voice in the clubhouse. Now we go. The Angels are definitely not in a now we go position.
It will be the most melancholy vibe ever.
The
just
Angels,
especially
if they trade Trout.
Oh, yes. That's what I was saying, especially if they trade out. Maybe not even melancholy might even be erring on the side of positivity. It very well could just be downright depressing.
Yeah. The Astros will be fine. They're a plug-and-play organization. They're on their third manager now of their dynasty that is still ongoing. They'll be just fine. I feel like it's. Did you see some of the comments that Dusty kind of mentioned about why he wanted to retire? Like, if it wasn't for like the internet and he blamed bloggers and podcasters for why he was retiring. It's like, if it wasn't for all that, I probably would have done another 5 years, but I'm just tired of being criticized and talked about on all these different forums. So it's not our fault because we're very pro Dusty, but
yeah, I think that's going through what he has gone through in that seat specifically.
Mm-hmm.
He became very aware of just how rabid things can get and fans can get when they don't care about what makes sense or common sense. Really, they don't care about truth or fact. They just got something to say. And when you're in his spot that he was in, specifically in the city he was in, with the team that he was in, blah, 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 you're going to hear a lot of it, whether you like it or not.
Well, and the fact that it came out that it was like bloggers and podcasters is obviously fucking lame. And it's like, why would cool Dusty say something lame like that and be like a mom's basement type of guy? But if you just step back and just view it as like him complaining about the media in general, the guy's been in baseball for like forever,
50 years.
Basically. If he is a little bit tired of the media situation in general and how it's a little bit overheated in 2023, I think we can all generally understand that idea, right? Like,
yeah, he gets a pass.
Why wouldn't it be fatiguing for a 70-whatever-year-old man to deal with the 2023 media environment? I would imagine that it would be fatiguing for a 38-year-old man myself. Like, I can't imagine doing that every day.
Grindy.
The internet sucks. That's why, I feel like, I've definitely gotten to a place the last 2 years where I don't really even fucking look anymore. Like, stuff I would read used to really piss me off, but now I'm just like, you just keep scrolling. Like, it really, I don't know that it's I don't know how to describe it, but eventually you get to a place where you just are unbothered by it. Like, for someone like me, I have been reading horrible shit on the internet for more than half my life. Like, I got used to it I was exposed to it at a very young age. And then after 15 years of it, you kind of just are just like, all right, like, how many times can you say the same insult and it still bother you? Like, it's just what it is.
And I mean, we're not going to go down this hole, but there's just so many other things that are going on, and you're watching how people are treating very real situations of magnitude and gravity just like it's a fucking schoolyard back and forth. And you're like, Yeah, come on. I can put zero stock in what's on a www site. Like, just who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. I was surprised to hear that from Dusty. I would have figured that he was one of those guys. It's not like he has like an Instagram, Twitter, that he's super online. Like, what are you like? You really that upset about headlines? And I feel like Houston is not even a market that is crazy to be a sports figure in. Like, they're not attacking you like Philly, Boston, New York. It's fucking Houston.
No, but I mean,
I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah, he's fed up. Like I said, he's had to hear a lot of the same shit since he showed up there because of where he's at specifically. So to Jayhay's point, you got a 70-plus-year-old man who's dealing with the same insults about the same stuff that he was nowhere near a part of and has tried to move on from and done a great job of getting the group to do so. And he has to show up and hear the same shit every day. So he's over it.
And I just want to hammer home two things here. One, he's specifically frustrated with the Houston media. Okay. It's not like Jeff Passan is making him mad, right? Okay. So it's local treatment. Okay. Which I think is somewhat more understandable. And secondly, his quote was, I'm kind of tired of this and tired of the scrutiny. And if I could go manage and show up at, say, 6:30 for a 7:00 game and leave 30 minutes after the game, don't do the pregame and postgame interviews, I could manage for another 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? That to me just sounds like a man who is just tired. He's just tired. It's not about bloggers. It's not about podcasters. It's about the Houston media, and it's about a man who is old and who's 74, right? And who's just tired of going to the ballpark every day like he's been doing for 50 years. It's not that complicated, I don't think.
I can't blame him there. Like, that sounds exhausting.
I'd be like, so I'm tired. We went to Atlanta and I was like, damn, we're going to the ballpark again. It was like 2 days of going to the ballpark.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is tiring. Dusty did it for 50 years.
Yeah. Guy's 74 years old. Like, let Dusty rest. All right, let's figure out the year that Jayhay is it MVP or Cy Young? Which one do you want to do?
I mean, I guess we got to do MVP, right?
Okay. MVP, give me a date range. When did they start giving out the MVP?
I mean, I was kind of hoping we would do the whole board.
Okay, when do they start giving out the MVP in Major League Baseball? I feel like that's important information.
Yeah, that is important. So the MVP award goes back to 19. Anybody know?
23.
02.
20.
No.
03.
I said 03 too.
04.
1911.
1911.
Oh, I win. Idiots.
All right. So, I mean, I'm going to put it 1911 to 2022. Okay. So the MVP voting that Jayhay is going to analyze and break down on next week's podcast is the 2014 MVP. I was hoping for something in the mid 1900s, but 2014. Okay. Who won that? Trout?
So we're doing AL and NL in the same batch. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 2014 AL MVP was Mike Trout.
Yep.
Topic of this particular podcast. That was MVP number 1 for Mike Trout. So that'll be a fun one to review. And the 2014 NL MVP was Clayton Kershaw.
Ooh.
So we get a pitcher MVP right off the bat to debate.
Love that. Love that.
Yep, that was the dual Cy Young MVP year for Kershaw when he posted a 1.77 ERA and went 21-3.
Yeah. So we'll see.
You know what's
Clayton Kershaw as a pitcher have won the MVP that year with statistical analysis by Justin Haven.
That'll be fun. This is a good one to start with.
2014. Okay. And are we going to do a Mount Rushmore next week?
Ooh. Yes.
Yes, but like, do we know who?
No,
I
we
feel-
don't. As
still
of
on
right
that list?
now,
We don't
We
know.
will
who?
by the time the sun goes down tonight.
All right.
then we can
we'll
tease
it. Well,
Yep.
yeah, we'll tease it on the Baseball is Dead Twitter. We'll just give you hints. We'll just tweet random things that let you know that we've decided
Yeah.
which team we're going to do next.
that's what I mean. We all saw the ballpark renderings, the AI ballpark renderings tweet.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I mean, my God.
Pirates, they've got the best one.
That
I
is
like the Giants.
not even close, the Pirates. Like, not even close. Like, if you're telling me that the beer mugs are actually full of beer, what would be great is if, like, there was just a direct line of the beer mugs to the Brewers thing, and you could see how many beers were getting drank by the end of the day, by the end of the game, if all those mugs went down. That'd be sick. But that fucking pirate ship, pal, let me tell you something. Huh? The Black Pearl? The Black Pearl? Feast your eyes on that bad boy. My God, you're going to need to be a cardio king to walk that plank. It's fucking 2.5 miles long. Jayhay, we got Davy Jones' locker for you right at the very bottom of that. Throw your raggedy ass in there. No fucking Wi-Fi. And you know what, Jayhay? Every time you ring that dinner bell because you're starving for nugs, that's just gonna hurt. That's just gonna hurt. Ham. Excuse me, I had. Raisin! Jayhay, the Jolly Roger, flapping in the wind. Hateful bastard.
Just when he thought it couldn't get any better to be a Pirates fan, you guys got the best AI generated stadium.
Yeah!
What a fucking it's awesome.
You thought it could get any better.
Future's bright. Yeah, you think Shohei's taking in AI renderings into consideration? Because if so, just saying.
Nothing could more properly insult this whole Pirates thing we've got going on than by us firing up the theme song for a fake ass graphic.
Yeah.
I can't do any better than that.
I mean, it looked really cool. You have to admit.
No, it looked
super
awesome.
sweet. Super
Yeah,
sweet.
and the Dallas version was fire as fuck, but it's still fake and their team still sucks ass.
Bro, that's, it's probably unnecessary right there. We didn't need all that. Just appreciate the fucking AI rendering, Jay.
Just show up to the stadium being like, well, where is it?
I thought you got
Where are all the Pirates?
That's unnecessary.
So I don't know. Do we got more baseball to talk? What do you got?
No, I was gonna hit a read and then do some final thoughts. I had a final thought to share.
Oh,
There was someone
please.
that I had an entanglement with on Friday night.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah, let's get to that. Hey Dallas, do you ever feel like you're in a
What, Jared?
90s infomercial?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, Jared. Sometimes I'm hungry and I feel like I don't have time, right? And sometimes I'd like to be able to just set it and forget it, Jared. And I can't find that time.
Yeah, you're between work, fun, kids, and other obligations on your schedule. It's jam packed, and you wish you had an easy on the go deodorant for your balls, so you're not dealing with discomfort or odor.
Huh.
You ever have that problem?
Yeah. I mean, I don't wear underwear, so yeah, that's it's something we run into from time to time.
Yeah. Well, I've got the solution for you.
Get a little clammy.
Yeah. This Dollar Shave Club's ball spray is like a deodorant for your balls, Dallas.
All right.
Yeah, and it's made for men who don't want to deal with the discomfort of sweat and stink below the belt, which I feel like you probably deal with both of those things. It's formulated to absorb moisture, reduce chafing, and protect against odor, complete with a minty tingle fresh to let you know that you're fresh. The precision sprayer makes application easy at any angle, and it helps your boys stay fresh and dry. Formulated without ball-busting ingredients like talc or zinc and is non-irritating. It's suitable for your family jewels. Wow. Get a fresh pair with ball spray from Dollar Shave Club. Wow.
Nice.
As someone who has tried the product, I give it 2 thumbs up. I have four containers. Which like the God bless this woman, the girl that cleans my house. She's Brazilian and doesn't speak any English, but she must just see shit in my house and be like, "What is this fucking guy's problem? Like what? Like what?"
I think she's currently thinking that you have 4 testicles.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, what? Like, this dude's balls must be wretched. Like, he has 4 canisters of ball spray just in his kitchen.
This guy just drinks Blue Moon and blows his balls out.
Yeah.
Full of powder.
Yeah, like, he's got cowboy hats over here. He's got ball spray over there. There's Blue Moon in every fridge in the house.
This guy he's a stripper. He is a stripper. Cowboy hats.
It's probably like, no wonder he's got a stomach ache.
Yeah.
Just drinking beer and inhaling ball fumes all day.
Yeah. And there's just cameras set up everywhere. So she probably thinks I'm like a cowboy OnlyFans star.
Yeah.
This guy's doing cowboy live streams when I'm not here. She definitely she's definitely confused for sure. Final thoughts. I had an encounter.
Entanglement, you said.
An entanglement.
Did you get slapped by somebody's husband?
No, he didn't. I'm sure he wanted to.
Okay.
But it was Aroldis Chapman.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Oh,
it was we just had like a standoff. Like I think he knew that I knew that he knew that and I was just like, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna vacate this area just because, I mean, I've said horrible things about you, but you've also done horrible things. So I don't regret my actions, and I'm gonna enjoy my night. Your presence is not going to take away from the evening that I'm having.
Okay. So he was just there.
Like, it was an alpha off, because like those tables that you would have at like a fancy event or whatever, where they're not meant to be sat at. Mm-hmm. Like, you're supposed to just stand there and put your drink on it. Well, Aroldis and I shared one with our dates, and I was like, I'm not leaving. You can leave. I'm not leaving. That he felt the same way. So we just shared a high top table together. Because neither one of us
was this assigned seating? Like,
no. So it was assigned seating. So it was Pedro Martinez. Shout out to the Pedro Martinez Foundation. There was assigned seating at like the gala dinner.
Sure. Who walked up to the table first? Who was at the table first?
I was.
And so him and his date walked up to you and your date and said, hey, well, probably didn't say much.
Didn't say anything.
Walked up and was like, this is our table now.
Yeah, like he'll leave, watch. And I was like, nope. Mm-mm.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, oh, that's my ground.
With the woman he shot a gun at?
I don't know.
Allegedly, according to Jared.
I don't know. Oh, no.
Like, that's actually kind of, I respect the move on both sides.
The only way I respect that move is if I'm there with you and you're like, Dallas, you remember that one, and then you just break out the video and you're just playing that video on fucking full tilt volume. I don't even know what you said, but you just going off Aroldis Chapman, like just, and then just like both of us are looking at your phone, and then we just look up at him like, sup? What's up?
I mean,
I just love imagining Jared at that table telling himself, I'm just gonna have fun evening. I'm not gonna change it. Like, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just having fun right now. I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
Oh in the ninth. An abuser, a man who shot a gun at a woman, blows it in the bottom of the ninth in Houston. The Astros are going back to the World Series. A tough night for the Yankee fans across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been
So you guys are-
that would have been tough for him to ignore. I feel like we would have had to address the situation at that point.
What are you gonna say? I mean, he did that shit.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know that. I don't know that there's a conversation happening after we play that video.
Yeah.
He's a boxer. You know. So
He's
whoa,
huge.
so you
He's
get-
huge. Like
Yeah, he is not
he
a
is.
little dude.
He's a large human being. I would still beat the fuck out of him, but he was
Obviously.
big. He was big.
So who left the table first?
That part I don't recall. I don't recall. I was very drunk.
Chapman was just like,
I do not recall. I think he definitely left the party before I did. I hung in there longer. But no, it was a good time. Pedro was great. Sat next to Jim Rice, Hall of Famer Jim Rice,
nice.
at dinner. Him and his wife married 51 years. 51
Doing it right.
years.
Damn.
Doing
Yeah.
it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do a lot of great things for families, children in the Dominican Republic. So shout out to Pedro, his wife, Carolina. They do fantastic work with the Pedro Martinez Foundation. But yeah, just had to let people know, because people always say that all this shit that you talk about Garrett Cole and Chapman and all these other guys, like, yo, you won't act like that around. Like, listen, we can share a table. We can break bread, brother.
No chance.
Mm-hmm. So, Joey, any final thoughts today?
Oh, that was gonna be my final thought, actually. Yeah,
Which one?
just an old Chapman story. Sharing a high top.
Yeah. Sharon.
I like that story a lot.
Yeah, he
I like you convincing yourself that you were having fun and not very uncomfortable in that situation.
Listen, I'm trying to think of times that I genuinely did feel uncomfortable. I mean, like, if there's ever like a problem with like a Red Sox player, like, I feel uncomfortable because I'm like, this is weird. Like, we shouldn't have an issue. Like, you're on my favorite team. But like, I've been around Garrett Cole a bunch of times, and like, I just don't feel uncomfortable. It's like, we should hate each other. You're on the Yankees. I'm a Red Sox guy. Like, I don't feel uncomfortable about that.
You should.
I don't. Dallas, final thoughts?
Yeah, we were not recording, or didn't record this past weekend. Friday was Veterans Day, and I think we talk about it every year in some form or fashion, some way it kind of gets brought up. But I've always just been, and because of the ties that I have to the military with family and friends, and myself on my way before I got drafted, it's always intrigued me just the level of sacrifice that individuals make, men, women, aside from that, we're talking about baseball players specifically. I am anyway. This is a baseball podcast, who have made that sacrifice, put themselves on the back burner for their family, for their love of country, for the love of doing what they felt was right. But just these names, and these are just a few of these names, but guys like Bob Feller, Yogi Berra, Ted Williams, Warren Spahn, this guy Joe Pinder I was looking up, but like Yogi in the Navy, gets put on a fucking rocket boat. And if you're familiar with what these boats did, these are the dudes who are first in line to the beaches of Normandy so that they can draw fire from all of these other high points so that the rest of the boys can get to the beach, or hopefully get close enough to the beach safely. That's what Yogi was doing. That's a different level of commitment, right? And in the brain, that just, for me, it gets something going. A guy named Joe Pinder, that was in the minor leagues, joined the Army in 1942, finds himself in Africa, Sicily. He was actually on the beach. They got shit going on. He's losing radio equipment. He's trying to get radio equipment back and forth. He's collecting all of this vital resources to help communications, to help what they've got going on. He was actually rewarded the Medal of Honor for his sacrifice. Bob Feller. You want to make $100,000 to play baseball? I would love to do that, but I think my country needs me. So take your $100,000. I'm going to go ahead and help my country out. Dude spent 2 years on the USS Alabama as a gunner. 2 years. $100,000 to play baseball? No, I'm going to go spend 2 years on a battleship fighting for my country. Ted Williams, World War II hero, 39 missions flown. 39 missions for the Marine Corps. The greatest left-handed hitter the game has known. Just incredible sacrifice. And then Warren Spahn, great left-handed pitcher. Played his rookie year in 1942, and typically after your rookie year, you probably, in that day, go back to work wherever you're going to work and wait for the season to kick up again. Well, what did Warren Spahn do after his rookie year? He joined the military. He joined the Army and went and fought at the Battle of the Bulge and some other battles. Received a Purple Heart. But in the game of baseball, it's always caught my attention when you hear, and these are just a few of the stories of individuals who made these kinds of sacrifices. There's been there's a lot of intertwining of American history, the game of baseball, and it's always just kind of been important to me to acknowledge individuals in our game that we have put on pedestals and who rightfully so have earned those pedestals, and then to contextualize what they were able to do and how we ooh and ah over their numbers. And then you realize that they took large chunks, some of these guys, out of their professional careers and put themselves directly in harm's way because that's just what you did back then. That's just what you did. And it's not lost on me. So if you are a veteran listening to our podcast and you have supported us over the years, I want to say thank you then, thank you now, and thank you always for what you and your family have done to help preserve and defend our way of life.
Well said, Dallas. Thank you. Also, just 1 minute ago, the Toronto Blue Jays just announced, and I love DeMarlo Hale. We're excited to announce the hiring of DeMarlo Hale as our associate manager under manager John Schneider. Is this a fucking target? Since when do we have associate managers? The fuck is that? There's a manager and there's a bench coach and then there's first base coaches. What the fuck is an associate manager?
Is there a bench coach as well?
I mean,
Don Mattingly, right?
Everybody works their way up the corporate ladder, Jared.
This is like, I've never seen that before. Baseball team, like, there's no structure anymore. We used to be a country, Dallas. We used to be a country. Back when Ted Williams was flying those planes in World War II, that's when this country was won. And now we have associate managers in the dugout.
Well, remember, all right, I don't know how much of this you guys are aware of, or so the Craig Counsell managerial contract, right? He becomes the richest manager. It's the richest contract in managerial baseball history. 5 years, $40 million, right? Isn't that right?
What?
He's got a 5-year deal for $40 million.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. So for the longest time, uniformed contracts have been, pretty much across the board the same thing. And there hasn't been much deviance from those.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of all gone now. Like you can set the tone, you can set the pay, at whatever you like. You want to pay a guy this, there's no industry standard that is going to be adhered to across the board. So there's been a lot of conversations about, all right, if these individuals are talented in terms of, grooming talent, bringing talent along, identifying talent, whatever it may be, we can start to pay these people whatever we want and not have to worry about, industry standards per se staying the same across the board. So if one group wants to pay their scouts X amount, wants to pay their, run prevention department X amount, whatever, and wants to create multiple jobs within there, go for it. And I think that's going to be the next wave.
Yeah. One last note here.
Meet the Mets.
According to Bob Nightingale,
Right up and greet the Mets.
some Shohei Ohtani news.
Bring your wife.
The Mets believe they have no realistic chance to sign Shohei Ohtani. Not a fucking chance. And that is via Bob Nightingale.
But we'll see in 3, 4, maybe 5 years after he's opted out a couple different times.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no chance. Not a fucking shot.
He's not intrigued by the Mets? The Mets aren't intrigued with the Shohei? It's weird.
Yeah. Mets, they believe they have no chance. That's
tough.
Jayhay, any final thoughts from you today?
Yes. After further consideration, I think we should do the MVP award thing from 1931 to the present, because that's when the BBWAA assumed control over the voting. And I think that's really what we're talking about here is the uniform standard since then. So let's do 1931 to the present.
31 to the present. All right. Jake, write that down.
Thank you.
Here you go. It's on the record now. Okay. We'll be back next Monday for a new episode of Baseball is Dead, presuming there's no breaking news. If there's major breaking news, we'll hop on for, I don't know, 20. It depends on what it is. It depends on how crazy the news is. If Shohei signs, we'll hop on. We'll do an episode. So we won't leave you high and dry. Something big goes down. But and if that doesn't happen, then we'll see you next week for another episode of Baseball is Dead. Wow. Thank you for watching. Oh, yeah. We're almost we're really close to 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. Thank you so much.
Get it going. Wow.